Connor. I also go by Roma Tats on Instagram. I like doing traditional tattooing and anything that comes through the doors. I started with art as a young kid. Whatever I was interested in, like TV shows or like any form of media, I wanted to replicate it visually. So I used, like most kids get craft and art materials as a child, so I used what I had from my mum and redrew everything I was interested in. And as I got older, it kind of developed more, and I got like into trying to like perfect it and hit the standard of what I was visually seeing, and like refining it and showing my friends and family, and it kind of just grew from there. So I usually like scroll through Instagram, and my feed brings a lot of just different art styles, because I'm always liking different things. So like with the tattooing page, I get a lot of traditional references, and then I like have a look at the artist that way. And then because like I watch, you know, TV shows, stuff like that, I might get into a certain anime and maybe like redraw a character. And then with music, I've always been listening to music, so not necessarily like the lyrics in a song, but the vibe of a song I'll chuck on while drawing something, and that can also determine kind of what vibe I'm going with and getting inspiration from that. I started in the 4th gallery because my dad had moved up these ways and was semi-familiar with the people that worked there, and from being inside the shop thought it was a really good vibe. So I made the move from Canberra after I finished year 11, where I was studying different lines of art, to pursue an apprenticeship at the shop. Some tattoos are pretty bizarre, but like usually when it comes to like people, they have a reasoning for why they want that. So it might seem a bit of a weird or bizarre tattoo to me, but to them it's got some sort of like meaning to it. But probably the most recent one was literally just like a duck with gumboots on a skateboard. And it was just like, there was no reasoning to it. It was just like two friends wanted something silly. But to them that meant something, but to me it was just a duck on a skateboard. The first paycheck I ever got from the shop, it wasn't too big because I was still an apprentice, but as soon as I got handed that money over the till, I walked straight up the street, went straight into Woolies to the egg section. I bought me a nice lovely dozen, and then I continued down that street to my dad's apartment, where I biffed them all at the side. And with the biggest paycheck I got, I probably spent it on a new hobby I had started called Gunpla, where you build like anime robot kits from the show. And I just bought like tools and a really big kit. With learning tattoo styles, I got recommended by Butch, who used to work here, not to be a one-trick pony. So when learning tattooing, I tried to make sure I had like a decent amount of confidence and skill in anything that could come in. And like as I was tattooing and also just drawing, I had like a preference to traditional tattooing. So I really enjoy doing traditional tattooing and like furthering that, while also doing anything I get handed. If I hadn't started apprenticing so early at 17 and like had not gotten the apprenticeship then, I would have continued studying art in college, because that's what I was doing. I left after year 11 to pursue the apprenticeship, but like had it not come about, I had all my eggs in one basket. So I would have just continued studying art, building a portfolio, just till the day I got it. When I'm not working, I'm usually at home. I watch a lot of movies, I watch a lot of TV shows, I listen to music, sometimes I play games with my friends so I can stay in touch. And I have been working on recently on a new hobby that I started at the end of last year called Gunpla, which is basically these anime model kits based off the 1970s show Gundam that has continued to the present day. I've never doubted or regretted going into tattooing. When you start as an apprentice, it's not the glory days, but it's definitely a sacrifice you make to get there. And with any job, it's not gonna just be like great. There's gonna be ups and downs, but I feel like tattooing brings a lot of joy, and you got to work hard to get there, and sometimes stuff can happen. In 5 to 10 years, I hopefully see myself still tattooing, but I want to make a lot of progress in the 5 years. I feel like where I am currently, it's not the greatest, but it's definitely like confident and able to do anything I'm handed with, but it's a matter of taking what I've got now and just pushing it the extra mile. With like that saying, you kind of reap what you sow. If you start like tattooing from home without doing an apprenticeship, you lack a lot of the knowledge on how it's properly done. And I see like more so nowadays than any, a lot of like younger audiences think like it's trendy to do stick and pokes or tattoo at home without actually doing any of the time to learn. Because an apprenticeship isn't just like giving up your time, you're giving up your time to learn how to do it properly. And when you make that shortcut because it's trendy or whatever reason, like eventually a lot of those tattoos end up coming back into the shop to get fixed up. Some advice I would give to someone either thinking about doing an apprenticeship or like an artist thinking about doing an apprenticeship is the apprenticeship takes time and you have to make a sacrifice to some degree. Like first step would be like your time is going to be sacrificed. You're not going to be expecting a full wage. You just spend a lot of time learning, and either if you like think you've learned everything and that you're the best, you're not going to do well in an apprenticeship because you're going to be showed how it's actually done. If you can't draw, not everyone's good at everything. Like yes, the lifestyle might be appealing, but you need to have some sort of skill set in order to actually be productive with it. And it applies to like anything. Like if you want to be a musician, you got to learn how to play an instrument. If you want to be a tattoo artist, you got to learn how to draw. And at the end of the day, the only person that's going to really teach you how to be good at drawing or art or anything like that is yourself. You set your bar, you take the time out of your time to do painting, drawing, whatever, but it's up to you at the end of the day whether you can get to that point. And after all of that, if you really are considering doing an apprenticeship, the best way to go about it would be to build a constructed portfolio and hit up the places you know have a good reputation. Go in, be confident, listen to what they have to say, and like ask for an apprenticeship with a portfolio ready. You can do it if you put the effort in, and hopefully what I've said has kind of given you a better understanding. And if that's something that you really want to do, all the best for you.